Gotta get voice ready.
What's that?
Gotta get the voice ready. Gotta warm it up.
Yeah, gotta get all
How do you warm up your voice?
I don't know. Ask Mr. Turpin.
Did he teach you something for voice?
Probably at some point. I don't remember.
I don't remember teaching you, Alexa. Have I ever taught you?
Grade 8 science. No.
What?
Grade 8 infotech. You taught us how to
ADST.
Yeah, you taught us how to stalk people and stuff.
Shh. No, I didn't teach you how to stalk people.
You taught us how to stalk ourselves. Like you were like, oh, look how easy it is to search ourselves.
Yeah.
And then she just applied it to other people.
Yeah.
That's right. I did teach that. I don't think I do that anymore. Nothing happened.
No.
I just don't do it anymore. Okay. But I don't remember. I've probably taught all of you at some point, but I don't remember.
Yeah, it was only 2 weeks, I think. Very short time.
Yeah.
Were you in my grade 8 French block that was a messy year. I kept switching teachers.
Yeah, I had you at some point. I had Van Hemert, you, McGrath.
Yeah.
And one other teacher, I think.
I think they're so sweet. We kept switching halfway through because Madame Van Hemert left partway through and then it just kept switching.
Yeah.
And
That's
then
tough.
Dance 8.
Oh, yeah.
In that rotation. But yeah, same thing, 2-3 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you didn't have me for science. You didn't have me for infotech after.
No.
Nothing.
Yeah, only those 2 weeks.
Okay. Well, we were talking about soccer this week. So you said you were away for how long?
2.5 weeks I haven't played in, so.
Was that because of your
Oh, no.
knee?
My knee, that was 2.5 years I was gone for.
Right.
Yeah.
So this week it was unrelated to injury.
Unrelated to knee injury, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. But you're back into it with 2 sports right now?
Currently, right now, there's 2 sports, yeah.
And you were playing in that basketball game too.
Yeah. I'm a multi-sport athlete. There's also volleyball too.
That's pretty amazing. And you can run.
Yeah.
You're really fast.
I enjoy running. I run in my spare time.
So there's nothing too wrong with that knee right now. It seems like they did a good job of reconstructing.
Yeah, I got a really good, a really strong ACL. My surgeon keeps telling me. I do have a torn meniscus still, so I'm going back for another surgery in September.
Okay. So, let's go back to when this knee injury happened, because this seems to have totally altered your life in a way, right?
It was March 10th, 2019, and I was playing soccer when it happened. And then all of a sudden I was going around a girl and I tripped and my ankle twisted and my knee popped out and I tore my ACL, my MCL, my meniscus. And it was a
all three.
game. All 3 at once.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, why not do them all at once?
What was
overachiever?
That sounds. It already sounds really painful. What was it like when you were on the ground? I'm supposing
it was instant pain, and I was screaming from the pain. And I'd never fallen down or been injured before, so everyone just stopped because we were playing a friendly game with my old team. So everyone knew me, and they're like, "This is not right for Alexa." So everyone just kind of stopped, and the ref was like, keep playing. And everyone was like, no. And then my coaches carried me off the field and took me straight to the hospital.
Oh my goodness.
So when did you find out how serious it was? Because obviously, if you have a sports injury and you play a lot of sports, this could be really devastating.
It was. I found out, I had an MRI June 2nd, and then I found out from that on the 5th or something that I'd tore everything. So then I was like, oh. And the surgeon that I originally was going to see was at Surrey Memorial, and he's like, yeah, it's a 1.5 year wait for the surgery, and then a year recovery. I was like, oh, that's a really, really long time. And then I went to Children's Hospital, and then that surgeon put me on the emergency list, and I got surgery within 3 months, but it was still a really long time that I knew I was going to be out.
So even from March when you did it till June was the first time you found out you'd torn everything?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
They originally were oh, it's just an MCL. You can go to physio. You can keep playing a little bit. And then they were like, no jokes. It's actually everything in your knee. You should be careful walking because it's that bad.
So they actually told you it might not be so bad, then you can... So Did you do anything in that period of time, or did you just try to keep it safe?
I did play one more soccer game. Diaz was not going to let me go in. And I was like, I'll be fine. And then I fell again, and Diaz had to carry me off the soccer field. And he never let me play again until yesterday. So,
Just a couple years.
yeah.
Because Diaz would know. So, what was the whole hospital situation and, getting that surgery, and what did they actually do to fix it?
So for the main like reconstruction surgery I had, the first one, they took part of my hamstring tendon. So you have 3 hamstring tendons, and they took 2 of mine because mine are shorter, and they like tied them together, and they put them through my knee and put like a screw into my femur and my like tibia or fibia, one of the ones on the bottom. And so then they made like a new ACL out of that.
Oh my gosh.
So it's your hamstring tendon.
Yeah. And so then they took some scar tissue off of the meniscus because it started forming, and then I think they put like a stitch or 2 or something in the MCL to help repair like the little tear that was left.
And a little dab of glue in there as well.
Yeah,
Just for good
Like
measure.
an Uhu stick.
some like duct tape and everything.
Uhu sticks are terrible. They don't work. White glue.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
So you've got a tendon as an ACL in there.
yeah.
But you said your meniscus is still torn.
Yeah, I believe I like retore my meniscus not too long ago. It was just like I was jumping and I just felt my knee like hurt. And so I went back to my surgeon who I've still been seeing at Children's, and she took another MRI. She said there's still like a torn meniscus in there that they can try and fix.
Has the tear gotten like bigger over time, or it's kind of or retore it?
I think it's gotten like, I feel like it's gotten bigger because like the pain's gotten worse.
Right.
And they took the MRI in November of this like last year. So from then to now, she thinks it's gotten a little bit worse, but nothing like too crazy as it was the first
So
time.
you've seen all the pictures of, because, you need photos, otherwise it didn't happen, right?
Exactly.
You have photos of your knee? Because I
Not-
find it cool.
Not of the inside of my knee. I have like photos of like the
Outside?
stitches and
Yeah.
all of that
Okay.
on the outside.
I see.
Was there a lot of like bruising as well?
The bruising, like when it first happened, it was swollen for like 2 or 3 weeks. And then as the swelling went down, then it started to bruise. But in the very beginning, there was like no bruising, which was really strange.
Cool.
Not cool at all. Not cool. So, like, seeing you run around is like terrific. Like, I saw you like run super fast down the field yesterday in the soccer game. I'm gonna go watch the Thursday game for Ultimate, but seeing you in the basketball game, that's good that you're back. Are there any issues that you feel like you're having besides your torn meniscus?
Besides that, like my knee has been feeling like stronger than ever. Like it
So you're
feels
pretty
like
mobile.
really stable and everything. Yeah.
I didn't realize how good that kind of surgery was.
Yeah.
Like they replaced it completely.
Yeah.
And it was completely torn. The ACL?
The ACL was completely torn, and that doesn't heal. If it's a small tear, they typically like can heal a little bit. But,
Okay.
So because it's completely torn, they usually replace it with your like the patella tendon,
tendon,
or
yeah.
the hamstring tendons.
Right.
So, or you can get one from a dead person. I think Mr. V was saying
A donor.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So do you always wear that knee brace when you run? Is that to like keep it solid, or does like if you run without it, do you feel a difference?
I can run without it and I don't feel like much of a difference. It's kind of like to protect my knee from like tearing everything again in like sports where I'm like twisting and turning a lot like basketball.
Yeah.
Oh, it's to control the range of motion?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's like, because it's like custom made to fit my knee. So it's like meant to save my ACL, my PCL, my LCL and everything from like tearing again when you like twist your knee and everything. So I can't like,
All that change of
much.
direction and
Yeah.
all that. Yeah.
but when I run without it, like my knee feels great if I'm going like straight line.
So they obviously talked to you about all this sciencey stuff while you were going through it because they wanted you to understand what was going on with you, right? Yeah. So you seem to know a lot about it. Like, did they show you models and things like that, or pictures, and try to educate you on that?
They've showed me a lot of like pictures and stuff. My physiotherapist has like talked to me like a lot about the science behind it. So I know a lot more from that than like the surgeon. The surgeon does tell me like a lot. She's like, oh, we're going to do it and go and do this and like tells me exactly what she's going to do. And I also researched a lot on my own because I was like, I want to understand better.
Yeah. And I guess understanding helps you recover as well because you know how to work it
Yeah.
and what your limits are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because you were, what, 14 when it happened? Grade 9?
I think.
Does that seem right?
Yeah. I think about 14.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty young still.
That is pretty young.
Yeah.
So what do you think you're going to be like? You're in grade 12 now.
Mm-hmm.
And the big question is, what am I going to do after high school? And that's what anxiety is about at this age, right?
Mm-hmm.
I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
I had no clue. Still don't.
Yeah, same. Winging it.
But, what are you thinking of getting into? Or do you want to just get in somewhere and see what happens?
I am planning on taking a gap year, but I do want to become a physiotherapist.
Oh, okay.
So I was going to apply after my gap year to UVic for kinesiology because the injury kind of shaped my whole life. And I was like, whoa, like,
Wow.
I enjoy like helping people. And I feel like physio is like a way you can help people, but you're still like active and like kind of near sports in a way. And I think those are two things that I like really enjoy. So
Cool.
Ms. Hanson, you're not going to put in a plug for Forte?
Forte physiotherapy.
Oh, gosh. That's what Miss
You're
Schalk
welcome,
would
Madame
do
Schalk.
if she was here.
I know. I was like, why didn't you have her? She also tore her ACL.
I figure that if we put enough
Commiserate.
plugs in, then they would have to pay us at some point.
Well, but that's where you go, right?
yeah, I've been going there.
Do you go there?
Yeah, we have the same
Yeah.
physio there.
Oh.
I'm pretty
Matt.
sure. Yeah.
Tall Matt.
We love Tall Matt.
Tall Matt's the best.
Okay.
So good.
Okay, so this whole podcast is a plug, apparently.
Sponsored by.
We will be sponsored at some
We'll
point.
get some t-shirts.
Let's do that. So yeah, it more than shaped your life in terms of athletics. It's kind of giving you a direction as to what to get into because it seems like you are interested in that kind of stuff.
Yeah, like it all really interests me. And like when I think about my life, I'm like, I can see myself doing this in the future. So I thought it's something I could like give it a try,
So have you done anything in the past? Because like when I went into teaching, it was well after I graduated from my science degree. I had no clue what I was going to do with that. But then it was like thinking back in the past, like thinking about things that I enjoyed doing. And a lot of it was working with kids and tutoring, working summer programs and leading summer programs and stuff like that. I really enjoyed. So for you, do you have experiences that kind of lead you in that direction with helping people and helping people recover? Besides, I mean, obviously your injury, you got to see what physios help you with, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was really rewarding to see that.
I feel like just being in like the physio clinic like so often, I've seen other people like recover and like leave and like other people go through the recoveries. I was like, that kind of seems like, I mean, I wasn't doing it, but I was there for like a lot of it. So I was like, it kind of seems interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And I enjoyed seeing people like get better and then like not come back.
And you've had a knee injury. Was that a knee injury?
That was
You were
my
scootering
foot.
around
I was
on
scootering
a thing.
around. Yeah, I broke my foot in
We
a
called her
dance
Scoots
class.
for a time.
Still
which
get
is really
that.
funny.
Yeah. Yeah, I broke my foot. That's when I
broke your
started
foot.
going to
Right.
Forte physiotherapy. Scott Road. No, just kidding. Yeah, that's when I started going there too because it was the range of motion of like they get you to step up on a box and then stepping off of the box, like having your ankle kind of move in that way. But I did a lot of physio growing up too with dance and things like that. I've injured everything. And so I considered physiotherapy as well for a little bit after high
Wow.
school. Yeah.
The only injury I've ever gotten was to my finger. And you can see it's sort of a little bit different, this ring finger. It's a little bit swollen. And it's kind of an embarrassing injury. I was walking out the door. Actually, my wife told me to grab something on the patio, and I opened the door, and my finger got caught in the door handle.
Ouch.
And I twisted it, and I was like,
Ooh.
ouchie. And then I kind of ignored it, even though it was in pain for a few weeks.
Yeah.
And then by the time I got to physio, he's like, you should have come to me a little bit earlier.
Well, I feel like fingers are hard. Fingers and toes for recovery. Like, I
Yeah.
feel like they just kind of splint them, tape up together, and like
Yeah.
try not to use it as much. Kind
Oh.
of thing.
I did physio for a good, I think, a month and a half or 2 months. And then it's just exercises.
Yeah.
So strengthening exercises. This is the first time I ever had to deal with physio. So I didn't even know the kind of stuff that they did. So it was interesting to watch the process and have them explain things. It was kind of cool. And they did an ultrasound, like ultrasound. I'm not having a baby, so what do you ultrasound? But it's to break up the scar tissue. And I was like, oh, this is so interesting. Never knew that you could use ultrasound for that.
Yeah.
So
One of the best things they have at that clinic is it's like a boot that fills with ice water. Like for me, it was on my foot. And so instead of putting ice right on your foot, it's a boot that they strap your foot into it and it fills with ice water. So it feels like there's ice on it the whole time, but it's not actually touching your skin.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. They just have the coolest things there. Like all these little tricks of the trade, I guess.
I like
didn't see
the
any, yeah.
machine that got like tingles, you know,
Oh,
the
yeah.
electric thingy.
The electroshocks. Yeah, they would
Yeah.
put them on underneath. So it's like that Dr. Ho thing. Do you remember
yeah,
the like
yeah.
muscle tension things?
Muscle contractions.
Yeah, so they attach it to you and then you can kind of turn up the volume of
Yeah.
the frequency of it, I guess.
Interesting.
Sometimes your muscles will like spasm and like it's kind of funny to watch.
Yeah. You see how high you can turn it up. Yeah. Compete with yourself every time.
I didn't see any of that. But I didn't go to Forte Physiotherapy.
Missed opportunity.
On Scott Road.
Yeah. Kind of around 72nd A.
They need a jingle. That's what they need.
I know. I've tried over the years.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So let's go back to early days of Alexa. By the way, Alexa, has anybody, like besides me, made fun of your name?
All the time. The day I tore my ACL,
What? I thought I was the only one.
No. Literally in the X-ray room, there was like a technician and then like the like kind of student kind of learner, and they were like making like Alexa jokes, and I was laying on the table
I mean,
in
like,
pain.
Alexa,
They're like-
what's the weather like
They're like,
today?
Alexa, start the X-ray, and I'm like,
Not the time, guys.
Not
Not
the
the
time.
time.
Oh, that's too bad. I thought I was being original. So, where did you grew up around here?
yeah, I grew up in Surrey, North Delta area.
And what was growing up like in this area? Because I honestly don't know. Because I grew up in Richmond.
Honestly, it was kind of like I live in a cul-de-sac with like a bunch of kids, and there was
That's awesome.
3 girls that were like the 3 of us are the same age, and I've known them since I was like a month old and everything. So we grew up together, and it was like really fun. And we had all of our older siblings really close, and all the kids in our neighborhood were really close. We'd always play like manhunt in the forest, or go for walks to like Chevron, or like walk to school together, or walk home together, all of us. So it was actually really interesting and fun because kind of always had friends around.
That's cool to be near friends. Because I know my experience was like that too in Richmond. Because all of my friends were in the same sort of area, and we'd like have paper routes together. We'd, this was in the 80s, so it'd be like, see ya, Mom, I'll see you at dinner time. And then I would be gone off on my bike with my friends and not back till dinner time. So it's a little bit like with my kids, like their friends are a bit further away. So it's like a drive. It's like a play date, or it's like my son's got to take the bus somewhere, or, so it's a little bit more difficult. But that's
Yeah.
kind of a cool upbringing.
Yeah, it was really fun.
Do you have older siblings or are you only child?
I have an older brother.
I remember your
I
brother.
don't think I knew that.
I don't remember what he looks like. I can't.
Mr. Waldman thinks he looks like me, so if that helps.
I don't think I know your brother.
I taught your brother. I'm pretty sure.
I think you did, yeah.
Yeah. Connor.
Yeah.
Yes. See? Yeah. And how's Connor doing?
Oh, he's doing good. He's going to UVic for electrical engineering, so interesting, I guess. I don't really know. Not my thing.
So that's what drawing you to UVic? The fact that your brother went there? You kind of have an experience there? Or?
We went to go visit him, and we were walking around the campus, and I really liked it. I also just like it's in Victoria. It's on the island, close to home, but not too far.
Mm-hmm.
I heard it's a good party school. So lots of options to go there.
That's good. So you grew up around here. You came to Delview. You've been here for 5 years, and now you're about to leave.
Yep.
How does that feel?
It feels so scary. I feel like I'm still in grade 10 because like COVID happened and you just like didn't I feel like I didn't finish grade 10. And I think I'm not ready to go into the world yet. I don't think I'm old enough.
And yet you are.
Yeah.
Can you drive it?
Yeah.
You have your license?
Yes, I do.
Ooh. You have a car?
I've had 3 cars actually.
Wait. What? What do you mean?
Last year I bought my first car at 16.
Yeah.
And then it was not very good, so I sold it. I bought another one.
What was the first car?
2002 Honda Civic.
Okay. That's a nice
Good
car.
start. Yeah. Well done.
Then
Honda
I got
Civic.
a 2002 Nissan Sentra. They've all been named Benny, so this one was Benny 2.0.
Okay.
And it was my favorite car. And then someone ran into me and my car was totaled. So now I have a 2006 Honda Civic.
Someone ran into you.
Yes.
What was this like? It was like hit you on the side of the vehicle or rear-ended you?
Hit me head on and pushed me to a truck.
Head on?
Yeah.
Okay, you got to tell this story.
Like, you got to explain it a little bit more.
I was pulling up to a stop sign at 96A and 116th. And a girl came speeding around the corner, like at nighttime, cut the entire corner, and hit me so hard, and I went flying back into a truck.
A left turner?
Yeah.
She was turning left.
Yeah, she was turning left.
Into you.
Yeah. And then she hit me head on. I went flying back into a truck and then damaged the truck that I hit. Her car was fine. She was driving like an SUV, Jeep
Oh my gosh.
thing. My car was not.
By Benny 2.0.
Yeah.
To hit you is one thing, but to move you into another vehicle, that's some force.
Yeah, like it was fast. There was like a witness and he was like, she needs to be charged with excessive speeding. He was like, it was so
For sure.
fast. And it was, light flashed before my eyes.
And it was like it wasn't wet or anything.
Nope.
Totally her fault.
Yeah.
Just bad driving. But you were okay?
I was I've been getting better. I was not in the best shape. Could have been a lot worse though. I had like some bad whiplash, back concussion. I went to the hospital and everything, and my airbags were supposed to go off as well, but my car had a recall on them when we found out, so they didn't go off either.
That's not the way to find out.
Benny.
Betty disappointed.
Come on.
Okay. So you're on to car number 3,
Yes.
which is?
2006 Honda Civic. Benny 3.0.
And you checked the recalls
No recalls, no nothing.
and we're good.
We're good.
You got a technician to check the whole vehicle out. Everything's fine.
Yep.
Safe.
Yeah.
Seatbelts. There are seatbelts. Yeah.
Yep. They all work.
That's good. That's good. You don't want to test it out.
No.
No. Good. So you've been driving around town and
Yeah.
like who taught you how to drive?
Both my parents and Young Drivers
What is
Canada.
that like? Because I remember how that was like with my parents.
Yeah, me too.
It wasn't totally smooth.
It was so terrible. It was not fun at all.
Do you know how hard it is for a parent? Because I'm a parent. To teach my own kids, like teach them math or teach them whatever, and it'll be getting to driving pretty soon with Miles in a couple of years, but it's not easy because you want to have this relationship and you've got a different relationship because you got a critique and stuff like that. But what was it like with your parents? They're not going to listen to this.
Very stressful. My mom freaks out at everything. If I hit the brakes slightly too hard, freaking out. My dad, he was a lot more relaxed, but I'm like, no, you need to freak out like a little bit. So I know what to do. So it was very like opposite ends of the spectrum. So just mixing them together was not very fun.
Oh, they were teaching together?
No, but
In the
like
same-
one day I'd go with my dad,
Oh, okay.
one day I'd go with my mom.
I see. Interesting.
So then they put me into driving lessons with Young Drivers
Oh, they gave
Canada.
up.
Yeah. So,
They gave up and they said, you are going to driving lessons instead
yeah.
because this is not working. And did you like pass everything with flying colors?
I failed my first time because
The driver's test?
the driver's test, yeah. I didn't shoulder check my right hand turns. So but then the second time I passed,
Good.
he said I was a great driver.
My first time I ran a red light, so I said it was yellow. It was yellow, for the record. But you still shouldn't, hit the accelerator when it's yellow. That
Yellow
was a
doesn't mean
bad
speed up.
That was a bad move on my part. Yeah. So, so do you give people rides, and people are asking for rides because obviously you have the vehicle and you can take people wherever they want?
Yeah, I do give people a lot of rides. A lot more of my friends have their license and cars now, but in like September, I'm giving everyone rides. Yeah.
Because once people know,
I know, they just want rides everywhere.
you're their Uber.
It's okay. I like driving. I find it like fun.
I love driving. Yeah.
Alexa was always one of our drivers to basketball games. Whenever we were short drivers, we're like, okay, Alexa will take someone.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I love driving so much. Long distance, short distance, whatever. I'll take the car out. I love it.
I've driven a Whistler a couple times, and it's like, it's a nice drive.
That's a nice drive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially on a nice day with, the scenery is just magnificent. But also, that can be a dangerous road sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of speeders there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was not one of them.
Rainy.
No. Yeah.
Scary, for sure.
Yeah,
scarier when it's
for
rainy.
sure. Yeah. Especially near the side of a cliff.
Yeah, exactly.
The most treacherous I think I've ever driven. Actually, this was when I was a beginner driver. I had just gotten my license and my parents decided they wanted to take a road trip down south to California. And so I was driving down a California highway along the side of a cliff, like sometimes at night. And my mom, I guess, was like your mom. She would be like, her knuckles would be white. She'd be holding on to the, the railings or whatever you call that.
The little handle
At the top. That's what it's for, I guess. To,
when your
de-stress.
kid starts driving.
I don't know. So that drive totally freaked her out. And my dad was just sleeping.
Yeah.
But that was freaky. We had a large 1980 van, like a super huge van, a camper van. And that was my first driving experience down a treacherous road by the side of a cliff, with, the ocean, and then, uphill, downhill in that van, which I had a hard time controlling sometimes.
I can imagine that would be tough.
But I loved it.
There's a couple of roads in Iceland that kind of feel like that.
You've been to Iceland?
I have.
She's been everywhere.
My cousin and I went one year during spring break, and it's like, it's just cliff off the other side. Like, it's so tiny, tiny little roads. And sometimes it feels like it's like one way. But there's no spot for you to like pull over for someone to pass. So we kind of went a certain distance, and then we met up with some people, and they're like, yeah, I wouldn't continue on that road. We're like, okay, we'll go back the other way. They're like, it was terrifying the whole time. And especially like if you don't know that, and so then time of day as it gets darker and darker and later into the evening, you're not preparing for that because you don't know that's what's kind of coming ahead of you.
Yeah, and endurance is another thing. Like I don't have great endurance when I'm driving, so sometimes I'll have to take a nap or switch drivers or just take a break and a breather, especially long road trips. I think the longest road trip we ever did, I drove for like 15 hours straight.
Damn.
Into the States, or maybe it was back from the States, but there were some long drives on one of our road trips, which was pretty awesome. But, lots of breaks, lots of coffee,
Red
open
Bulls.
windows.
Yellow Red Bulls.
I don't do those weird chemicals. But
I do. A lot. For basketball.
Oh my gosh. Is that why you run so fast?
Yeah. That's why it sits on the bench.
Oh my gosh. No, I've never seen that on the bench.
Well, it's better than falling asleep
Yeah.
in a car, which I think has affected a lot of people. So I think that happened to my friend once. He got into a car accident because he fell asleep at the wheel. He flipped his whole car.
Oh my God.
Got a huge injury. So that's very dangerous.
That's why they have those like at the side of the highway if you go
shoulder?
the shoulder, but it has the bumps on it.
Like in the States, you got the
In the States, there are bumps everywhere. Here,
but they have them. They have
much.
them here in Alberta. I think like if you go too far over the edge, it's all these bumps. So it like is supposed to wake you up, right?
Yeah.
So that for drivers or for truckers or whoever that like if you fall asleep at the wheel and you start to drift off the side of the road, they're hoping it'll like wake you back up. At least that's what I think they're for.
Well, in the States, they have them in the middle lanes too.
Yeah.
The lines.
I think it's like middle and then the side on both shoulders.
Yeah.
If you drift either way.
Yeah. I was driving down the States. I was like, it's really loud on the road. My dad's like, are you driving in the middle of the road or on the things? And I'm like, no, it's loud.
Yeah. But it's good.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think we have that here. But in the States, for sure. I remember driving into oncoming traffic on LA freeway once. And because we were following my cousin's car and they were driving into oncoming traffic. It was dark.
Follow the leader.
So we followed them and yeah, I noticed there were bumps on the road. So you were talking about in the future being physio. Do you know what you need to get into that field?
I do. I believe so. In Canada, only master's degree in physios are only offered now as of 2010.
You have to get a master's?
You have to get a master's. You can't get a bachelor's. So you need a bachelor's in like kind of like anything. So I was going to go with kinesiology because you already like learn things.
Yeah.
And then there's like my physiotherapist told me there's like science-based kinesiology and then like the one that like isn't science-based or something. Matt was telling me all about. No, it was Jazz actually, and Jazz went to Dovey as well. I don't remember his last name, but he also used to work at Forte Physio. And he said that if you go to like the
money's just raining down. It's just raining down in this room.
If you go to like the non-science-based kinesiology, which like UVic is, it's like a lot easier to get higher grades and then get into the master's program because they're like, oh, you did a lot better than science ones.
What is non-science kinesiology?
I don't really know. He tried
It's
to
a
explain
science,
it.
isn't it?
It is, but it's like,
What else would it be based in?
I don't know. He was telling me that's how he like got into
Art? You'd like draw stuff?
He said it's mostly like gym class, stuff like that.
Oh.
I don't know, but I'm going to kinesiology at UVic and then applying for the UBC physiotherapy program after I get my bachelor's.
Cool. And then you're going to start your own business?
I might work at Forte.
That's because you can't compete.
For goodness sakes.
You brought it up.
I can't afford this podcast anymore. Actually, they can't afford me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I might start my own, like, like work at a couple clinics and like down the road in the future, start my own business, try to see how it goes.
Yeah. I would assume it's a lot of work to start your own business, definitely. Yeah.
It would be, but then you'd have your own business.
You would.
Yeah. I have a friend who's a dentist and he has his own dental practice. He's an artist as well. So he painted murals around his dental practice. He does sculptures and stuff. I remember in university, he used to he'd take notes and then illustrate them and then sell them. Amazing guy. But owning your own business would be really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. You'd have your own place.
Exactly.
Or you could work for physio.
Own hours.
Forte Physio.
Maybe Forte wants a second location.
There you go.
Maybe.
Open that up.
Is it a franchise?
No.
We can make it one.
Okay.
Take on a partner.
Yeah.
I think Alexa physiotherapy sounds better.
Someone's going to make a joke about
I
the
know,
name.
like it's just waiting to happen.
Well, you could put it onto the Amazon Echo so that you can get physio treatment like on the spot.
It's back to the virtual physio. Yeah, over Zoom.
Yeah, that wouldn't work so well.
No.
Yeah, I love like it was really cool what they like my first trip to the physio, and this was, like I said, my first ever injury because I guess I stay away from high risk situations. But they took my finger and the guy grabbed like both ends of the finger across the knuckle and started twisting. I'm like, what is this? He's trying to break my finger.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like.
Oh, I was sweating. I was sweating bullets. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is going to be not good. I'm not going to like this at all. But it turned out okay.
There's always that point where you're like, should I tell you that this really hurts or is it supposed to really hurt?
Yeah, but imagine like I have a sprained or broken
just resetting
sprained
the finger.
Yeah, and he was like trying to feel it out and trying to figure out what was going on.
Yeah.
And like, man, one false move and it'd be in two pieces.
Yeah, like when they check my ACL, they'll like grab onto my knee and like yank it. And they're like, oh, it feels good. I'm like, okay.
This feels terrible.
Yeah, I feel like they're going to rip my leg out.
Yeah.
But that's the test, right? They're trying to see if it's connected or not,
Yeah.
right?
Scared they're going to rip it themselves.
Well, I think it's
though,
like to
too.
see how the like muscles and tendons and everything, bones kind of like, I don't know, are connected or how they insert one into the other, things like that. Just
Yeah.
to like see if there's any friction or kind of like,
Slippage or
Yeah.
anything.
there's another word, but I can't think of it. Resistance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm. That's amazing how they can do that just by feel.
Mm-hmm.
When I broke my foot, they had to reset the bone at the hospital because there was too much of a gap in the break.
Mhm.
And so they take these little things and they look like those like Chinese finger traps where you
Mhm.
put finger on both sides and it gets stuck. So they take one side and they put it on your toe and they just pull the other end. But they have like a keychain of them that are all kind of different sizes to figure out which is the right size for your toe.
Oh,
Yeah. Really terrible feeling. Wouldn't
that
recommend.
doesn't sound good at all.
No, it's terrible. I hated it.
Yeah.
I definitely screamed very loudly in the
Yeah.
hospital.
Yeah, I tried not to scream, but like I said, I was like drenched in sweat after because I was
Yeah.
so nervous. And like anytime, like you have people touching your injury, that's
Yeah.
going to make you anxious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always holding your breath until it's done. Yeah.
So, what kind of stuff do you do for fun? You do a lot of sports. You want to study to be a physio. What are your other hobbies or interests?
I watch a lot of sports when I'm not playing them. Sometimes I like reading. I watch a lot of TikTok. I feel like that takes up a lot of my time. Or me and my friends go like drive around. We walk around Walmart a lot because there's not much to do sometimes.
Walmart?
Yeah. I spend a lot of time there just wandering around.
She's regular.
Yeah, they know me by name. That's
Just the Walmart?
like Walmart or like places that are open late because like I'll hang out with my friends all the time. But then like when it gets late, everything closes. So we're like, oh, Walmart's open or Shoppers.
Yeah.
Just
Shoppers?
walk around.
You don't like walk around Shoppers Drug Mart?
No.
Checking things out?
Yeah.
Usually.
Do you ever buy anything or you just look around?
Sometimes I buy stuff.
At Shoppers.
Yeah. Yeah, like Red Bull or
Okay. So you're addicted to Red Bull.
yeah.
Let's talk
She
about
couldn't
this.
think of anything else. She really tried to think of something else to add to that list.
There's more.
Red Bull's so gross.
It's so good. The yellow flavor is like the best.
yellow, like pea flavor.
It's tropical, but
Tropical, yeah.
then there's a new one that they just came out with. It's the new summer flavor. It's strawberry apricot, and that one's really good as well. That one's like second on my
Okay.
Red Bull list.
I've only had one Red Bull. It was like a free sample somewhere. So I had one just to try it out, and it tasted like medicine to me. Like I could drink a Coke once in a while. It's too sweet for me, but once in a while I'll drink a Coke. But Red Bull tasted like medicine, at least the original.
The original, like, it's not the best flavor I find. You can,
What flavor is it? Some medicine.
yeah, it's like chemical flavor.
Chemical flavored. Yeah. But doesn't it make your heart race and
Yeah, like give you the
how
jitters.
how many do you drink a day?
Okay, so I usually tend to drink a coffee in the morning and then a Red Bull in the afternoon. So like, I'm used to the caffeine like content because I used to drink Monsters and then I was like, I'm a Red Bull kind of person now. So
Okay.
the caffeine content went down, so my heart doesn't like beat as much.
So
So-
there's less caffeine in Red Bull than Monster?
Yeah, it depends on the size can you get, but usually yeah.
Uh-huh. And coffee just won't do it for you.
No, coffee's like the morning drink, you know? So like when I get to school, I gotta be awake for math and English. And so then I'm like, okay. And then by like the afternoon, I'm like, oh, I'm tired and I can't go take a nap because, you know, I got basketball or frisbee. So
Oh, you've got activities.
yeah, I gotta go
So you got to
drink,
stay awake.
stay awake,
Yeah.
energized.
Is there any water in there during the day?
I drink a lot of water. I usually
Okay,
drink
good.
like my hydro flask, which is 32 ounces, and like usually like another half of it or so.
Yeah, I assume by the time you're doing all those sports, you kind of have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And are you, Miss Hanson, coffee or tea or what do you? What's your poison?
I end up, for whatever reason, I don't know why, I drink tea during the week and coffee on weekends.
Huh.
But I always want coffee. I just try and like,
Are you doing that to stay away from coffee?
I don't know. I started doing it years ago. I just decided to switch it up. So I always have chai tea in the mornings at school, and then
Like Starbucks, or do you make your own?
I just make my own.
Okay.
Maybe that was it too. It was like too much effort to make a cup of coffee in the morning. So I was like, oh, I'll just boil some water. But
Maybe
I
I
do
should
look
try that.
forward to Starbucks on weekends.
Yeah, I usually have a cup of coffee at breakfast, and then I'll fill my mug up with coffee. I have a thermos, and then that I just sip throughout the day. And there was one day when I forgot it. I forgot my entire backpack at home today. So I need to do something about that. But I left my coffee at home, and like by the afternoon I was like ruined.
Yeah.
I was like, I was so tired. It was such a low. It was weird.
When we had the later basketball games, I was like, should I go get coffee now?
Yeah.
Because the senior teams, they start, well, the boys start even later, but it was always like somewhere between like 6 and 7:30, which for me feels really late.
Yeah.
That is late.
And there was the one at like Princess Margaret's, you know, they were there even later and like.
Yeah. Then you're all wound up after the, like, I didn't even play the game, but I'm all like wound up after. So then you get home at like 9 and you're still kind of
Oh, I remember
wired
that.
from the excitement of it all.
I used to play hockey when I was in university, and I'd play roller hockey in the summer and ice hockey in the winter. And, you know, sometimes there'd be late games. So like sometimes like a 9 or 10 o'clock game.
I think usually hockey games, like the ones that I go to, start at like 9:15 are like the latest
Yeah.
starting ones.
You play hockey too?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm a big hockey fan.
So you go and watch.
I watch my friends play a lot.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. Usually
Yeah.
the like men's leagues, they start at like 9, 10, 11. Like they go
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, and then when you come back, you're completely wired.
Yeah.
And there's no way you're going to fall asleep anytime soon. So, you know, after you shower and you're just sitting there going, I can't sleep.
Yeah.
And you're still thinking, like replaying things that went on during the game and just so excited. Yeah, I remember not being able to sleep at all.
I usually drink an ice cap during watching my hockey games. So I always like got the energy after and I'm like, I don't have anywhere to use it because I'm not on the ice playing. So I'm just always awake after.
Just filling yourself with caffeine,
Yeah.
just like
That's
the
why
rest of
she's
us.
so fast with such endurance. It's just all caffeine.
It's always in my blood.
Yeah, that's terrific. So, you're looking forward to the, you're dreading, but also looking forward to the end of this year.
Yeah, I guess so. I'm excited for like the grad events, like boat
Oh.
cruise and
It's so nice to have those back
grad.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
for you guys, right?
Yeah, I was going to be devastated if we didn't have it.
Yeah, because we had a couple of years with nothing.
Mm-hmm.
hmm
So you're lucky.
Yeah, we really are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, even just at that basketball game, staff versus student, having all those people in the gym, like it
Oh.
hasn't felt like that in
Yeah.
years.
There's so much good energy at that thing. It was exciting.
It was.
Yeah. Yeah. Even though you guys got crushed.
Pretty good energy from
It
the
was
staff.
all the boys. They were taking the shots.
Yeah,
and-
we commented on that. We were like, what is going on?
Exactly.
What is this?
Most of the points are scored by the girls if you
It's true.
look back.
Proud coach.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
were some good team moments with the girls.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. But it was fun to play in. I didn't play, but it was fun to be there.
Good commentating.
Yeah.
I watched it back when my parents
Mr.
wanted to watch it, so they're like, oh.
Mr. Turpin's so good at play-by-play. He said he'd
Right?
never done it before. And when Mr. Choi asked us, and when he asked us, I said, don't you want somebody who knows something about basketball?
Apparently not.
Because I don't. Besides there being a ball and you shoot in the basket, and I may have played a few times, but I can't comment on very much. And Mr. Turpin, I mean, he's not he watches a lot of soccer and hockey and stuff like that, but he was
You guys did a good job
he was
of
fast.
it.
Yeah.
He was fast, and I tried to.
Yeah. Your
add as
terminology
many-
was pretty good. Some good
Yeah.
jokes in there.
Well, we try. We try. It was fun though. It was lots of fun. Yeah, didn't think we could do it, but we pulled it off, and it was a fun game to watch.
It's a fun game to play in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
little tiring.
Yeah.
I'm not used to that anymore, but
Miss Schalk was my check, and I was trying to be nice because I'm like torn ACL buddies, had the same knee brace, and she was aggressive.
She
I was
was-
like, okay,
Yeah, she was impressive.
yeah,
I know I was glad you were her check because I was like, I don't want Alexa. She's too fast. I don't want her to be my check.
Yeah.
I'll take someone a little slower.
Yeah, and we have a whole slew of grad versus staff games coming up, right?
Yeah, dodgeball in 2 weeks now.
getting ready, warming up the arms.
Your dodgeballs nowadays are kind of wimpy for me. I'm used to elementary school or in high school. We had those red rubber balls that you could squish and then really chuck it at somebody,
Leave
like
a welt.
hard.
Those hurt.
But there was that threat there. And that made you want to, like, it's dodgeball. You want to dodge those. But I
Yeah.
guess too many people got really badly hurt. So more business for Forte Physiotherapy. That's what I say.
Exactly.
I've never actually played with these newfangled things. Besides that Squid Game thing we did.
Oh yeah, that's
Were we using those?
Yep. Those were the ones.
Those are the ones, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun.
I'm going to have to,
You made it to final 3, so you know.
but that was fake.
Well, you know, could have gone out first.
I guess so. Whoever wrote that script.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what other interests do you have, Alexa?
I really enjoy watching football and following along football. Same with Formula One. I spend a lot of time like watching and following those kind of two things, kind of sports, I guess.
F1 and football.
Yeah.
Cool. Have you been watching the Netflix documentary?
I love that. Yeah, it's really good.
I
My
love
brother
that,
got me
yeah.
into it, and then I was like, whoa. And then I became like such a big fan and wake up at 3 a.m. for the races sometimes.
Mr. Pocock's a huge F1 fan, and he put me onto that documentary, and I've been watching it with my son, and that's terrific.
Yeah, it's really
It's
entertaining.
high quality.
Yeah.
Yeah. All the drama behind the scenes and
I think
kind
some
of
of it they really like hype up, which really isn't like
oh, for
quite
sure.
that dramatic. But
Otherwise, I wouldn't watch it.
yeah.
They need ratings still.
But still,
But a lot
great
of it
show.
is just true because you see them at the press conferences, or you see them, trash talking each other
Mhm.
or slamming into each other on the course.
Yeah. I like that it's like a small, like there's only like 20 of them. So it's like they all kind of like are friends. But yet they're still like enemies and like go out there and smash each other.
Yeah, for sure. There are some enemies there. There's
Yeah.
some really jerky ones. Yeah, they don't play fair sometimes. Yeah.
Better not be talking about Max Verstappen there because he's my favorite. So
What?
yeah,
Why?
Team Red Bull.
Oh, that can't be the only reason.
No, I like them in general, like as like a team. And
Yeah.
I don't know, just Max has become my favorite driver.
But he's such a jerk.
I think he's made out to be like that. I think he's a really nice guy.
You think it's
overall.
just the show?
I think it's just a show.
Oh, okay.
Like everyone else is like, he's such a great guy.
Huh.
Yeah.
Are you going to see the, what's that called? What's the electric version called?
Formula E.
Formula E. It's coming to Vancouver.
Yeah, I think the July long weekend, I believe.
Yeah.
I
I mean, it's not
yeah.
as loud or fast as F1.
No. I might like look into it. I haven't like really been following or know anything about it, but
But have you ever been to a race somewhere?
no, not yet.
Would that be fun, do you think?
I think it'd be really fun. I'm going to Europe in September, but all the races that were there at that time were supposed to be in Russia, so I don't know.
I just wonder what you would see in the stands. Like you would see cars just
Zooming by.
you.
Like, I feel like it'd be better to watch on TV almost.
Probably.
Because you're not seeing the whole track. You're just seeing them, like,
Right. Oh, they
Couple
passed by.
seconds.
Okay. Let's
Well, I assume
wait.
they would still have like the big jumbo screens so you can watch.
Yeah.
And
I think
follow,
it
maybe?
depends
I don't
on
know.
where you sit, though. Because a lot of times, like, in the, like, driving I can't remember the name. The places where they drive, there's, like, stands in, like, different parts.
Oh, okay.
The racetrack?
The racetrack, yeah.
That?
Yeah, the racetrack, there's, like, different,
You mean
like,
where like the cars
yeah. There's, like,
with
different
those
parts of
round things that
stands.
are on the cars, they turn around?
The
Yeah,
racetrack.
the racetrack.
I think we've clarified that's what it was.
Alexa, define racetrack.
It's the place where the cars drive
Turn around. Yeah.
and go around the
The thing.
corners.
Yes.
Is it all left turns? Just in a circle?
You might need
No.
another Red Bull.
Yeah.
I think you're running low on
I
batteries.
didn't have one yet today. I had a Starbucks energy drink instead.
A Starbucks
What?
energy drink.
Yeah.
What's a Starbucks energy drink? They have their own brand?
If you get them from
Branded
the
drink?
States, there's like lots of options and they're like really good. They kind of taste like Starbucks like refreshers, but like they got lots of caffeine in them and they're carbonated. So
Huh.
definitely recommend.
Do you ever get a caffeine low? Like
Ye-
if you have, like, I find that if I have lots of coffee and then I don't drink it for a while, I just feel even worse than I would if I didn't have any coffee at all.
like the withdrawals kind of.
Yeah.
I had like a lot of those when I had like my really bad concussion after my car accident, but I think mixed with like the headache and everything I was already feeling, it wasn't so bad. So I don't drink as much caffeine anymore. Like these past few months, I drink like 1 Red Bull a day and like no coffee, or I'll drink a coffee and no Red Bull. So really was able to cut back on like caffeine content.
Getting healthy. That's good.
Yeah,
Just 1 Red Bull a day.
exactly.
Keeps the doctor away.
Yep.
Trying to get no more concussions.
Yeah.
So I think we're almost at the end here. This has been a good talk with you, Alexa.
Thank you. I really appreciate you for having me. It's been fun.
Well, you requested this.
I know I did. I thought I'd make an interesting episode.
You're very interesting,
I am.
I have to say.
Good for you.
Thank you.
That's what
And-
people should do.
It's nice to know that the knee was not a negative thing for you, that it changed the course of your life in terms of not just how you play sports, but also possible future career. And hopefully you are successful in getting into that and doing that. And I'm sure if that's what you want to do, eventually you'll do it.
Yeah, I think so. I really feel like it's something that I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I love that even when for years you couldn't play, you still found ways to be involved in sports. Like I know for basketball, you were keeping
Right.
score and rebounds and all that. Like you were at every game, always
were
showing
managing?
up.
Yeah.
Managing.
Yeah, I
Soccer
remember
team,
that.
basketball team.
Yeah. That you still managed to find a way and were willing to put in that time just to like be around the team and around the sport.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was a good time. Sometimes it was like really tough because you're like, you can't play and it
Put
really
me in
sucks.
coach.
Yeah. But it gives you like a different view on the game too. So I feel like it helped me improve my skills in soccer and basketball at least.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of positive energy in general from you for many different things. Like I saw you at T4G and helping out with that, and
Yes.
lots of different things that I've seen you involved in. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
keep doing it. Keep doing your leadership stuff.
It'll be very weird not having you on the T4G committee next year. You've
Yeah.
been
It's okay,
such a
I'll
big
come back.
part. Perfect.
Yeah.
For years you've been on there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
people come back.
Yeah.
Good. Well, good luck with everything.
Thank you.
And I'll see you on the field on Thursday
Yes.
for Ultimate.
Ultimate Frisbee.
Cool. Thanks.
Thank you.
Take care.